Hello and welcome back to the Freeway Gear Review channel. I hope you're watching this because you've already subscribed and you're being notified that we got a new review up for you. This video again is brought to you by Guns, Razors, Knives and myself, 36 Fat Friends. As you can see, you are looking at a tech mat, a Glock tech mat. Has the full breakdown, the blow up of the Glock. This is a Glock 17. They're original, but today we're going to be reviewing the Glock 30. This is my EDC firearm. Today I've been carrying it in a Don Hume leather inside the waistband holster. Love this. It's the first holster I bought for this pistol. I've been carrying this gun about 2 years. I've never had a problem. I love this. I love this freaking gun. I didn't go all crazy with the night sights or anything for that matter. No grips, nothing special. I do have a Ghost trigger kit on this. It's the 3.5 pound connector, the reduced firing pin safety spring, as well as the over travel stop and the increased reset, or the increased poundage on the reset spring. Makes it a really sweet shooter. Like I said, I've been shooting this for years. The second I put that trigger on here, it really made the difference. Especially when you're out plinking, just either shooting metal, or if you don't have that luxury, if you're up at the indoor range, paying by the hour like a sucker. Keep doing it. If that's all you got, keep doing it, because you need to practice. So anyway, today I thought we'd just do a little review and a little cleaning. Did a little shooting last week. Luckily, not at an indoor range, shooting pieces of paper in a static position. We do a little bit more fun stuff than that, and hopefully soon enough we'll be able to get out there and do something again with that. Just waiting for these ammo prices to come down, and hell, I would even for you guys, I would spend the money to make that video. But there's no ammo. There's none. Went to Dick's today. They had nothing. No 22, no 45, no 40, no 9mm. They had some birdshot, turkey shot, and maybe some 38 special, and I think a little bit of 357 mag. Unfortunately, I don't own anything chambered in those calibers, so did nothing for me. I did pick up the last couple boxes of their buckshot though. For my Mossberg 500, which one day hopefully you guys will see. Till then, let's clean this bad boy. Obviously, I just pulled this out. It is loaded. I always carry +1. I don't know why you wouldn't. So we're going to make sure that is empty, as you can see. This is the round that I carry. It is the Hornady. I think this one's the Critical Defense, is what it was originally named. They had the red polymer inserts. Helps for a few things. I believe the original purpose of this was to ensure proper expansion upon impact. They've obviously since switched their marketing scheme, added a green polymer insert, and they call it a zombie round. Whatever you want. If you think it's cool, do the zombie round, whatever. I will say that it does a great job adding consistency to the expansion of a hollow point round. If you'd like to see, I have one right here. Hold it right up there for you. So obviously we are pretty much doubling the size of this thing. It's split wide open, really even expansion. The thing is, I don't know if you can really see it. It is just jagged and sharp. I shot this into a creek and dug it out. And yeah, they're great rounds. Depending what you carry it in, I think these would be great carry rounds as well for something like a 1911. The polymer, can help aid in feeding on that feed ramp. I know a lot of times if you have too large of a cutout on the hollow point, it'll get hung up, and it happens. It doesn't really happen to Glocks, which is one reason I like them, but At least not in my experience. I'm sure there's some of you out there that will say different, but it's never happened to me. So there you go. That's your Hornady, your zombie rounds. Hope you guys have fun with that. Anyway, thought we'd do a little cleaning today. Everyone knows how to break down their Glock, I'm sure. You can do it either way. Some people will pull on this and then let go and then do the trigger, and that'll work. I usually do it opposite, whatever. Pull first and, taking down. And of course you're right down on these little tabs right there. There's one on either side, and it will pull that down, allowing the slide off. But again, trigger has to engage. So you've got your basic parts: recoil spring, barrel. Here, if you want to do it all nice, we'll line it up for you there. Got your barrel. There you go. Just like the picture, right? All right. Well, I don't do anything too fancy. I'd say maybe once a year or so I take the base plate off there, and be careful when you do that, by the way, because this is under a lot of tension and it will shoot out. It's a little spring right there and it will go. But if you feel like cleaning your firing pin and firing pin spring and all this stuff, taking your extractor out and all that, do whatever you want. Glock does not recommend it, if you were wondering. They say it never needs it, which I'm going to go ahead and believe them. I mean, they know what they're talking about. They made the thing. I do it every once in a while just because I like to stay familiar with how this works. I don't ever want to just be rusty on the mechanics of any of my firearms. So I like to be educated and, pretty well practiced on breaking it down and cleaning it, just to know how it works is the main thing. A lot of people have a lot of different ways of cleaning things, and I'm sure some will say, my way's better than yours, why are you just doing that, you need to do this. I like to get a nice little initial wipe down, get any of the loose stuff off, and just kind of brush over it. I'll usually start with just your basic toothbrush. I think this came with a cleaning kit that I picked up one time or another. It's always good to give those bristles a little wipe off. Just loosening up all this stuff. I didn't shoot it too much. It is always good to clean these things after you shoot it, really, at all. I don't think it would matter in a life or death situation with especially a firearm like this, but why not? I got time. I've got a camera. I feel like making a video for you guys because obviously, you're watching. You needed to see a review on a Glock 30. Whether you needed to see how to clean it or not, I don't know. But if you're watching this far into it, you're interested enough to see how I clean it. So I'm going to show you. And if you're not, screw you. Get off. Hit the back button, hit pause, exit. I don't care. As far as a solvent goes, I do use Hops 9. It's pretty basic. You can find it anywhere. It's probably one of the most popular brands out there. Why do I use it? I don't know. I just do. It was the first thing I ever bought, and never had any problems with it, so figured, what the hell, just keep buying it. So, it's good to get all that on there. I mean, as you can tell, didn't really do a lot of shooting with this thing. But, again, if you care about your stuff, and you like nice things, and you're not a spoiled brat, and people are just buying this stuff left and right for you, FPS Russia, you're going to want to respect it. You're going to take care of your own stuff. I didn't mean to dog on FPS. I subscribe to his videos. He's a great dude. Makes a lot of cool shit. And I know he's worked pretty hard to come as far as he has. So maybe one day I'll meet the guy and he'll let me shoot one of his Class 3 weapons. I can only hope. anyway, so let's see here. Got the barrel. You know, I always give it a good little wipe down. You don't have to do too much. Some people like to polish their feed ramps and do all this fun stuff, but it just doesn't take that much, you know. I'd say a couple of strokes with a brush. And I always prefer the nylon. I don't know why. Maybe I'm paranoid. I'm sure the little copper ones would be fine, but I don't think it's needed to be that, you know, that much abrasive stuff. It just, and I know it really wouldn't do anything. You know, the barrel is like really hardened steel and it would be fine, but I don't know. Not for me. So I'd say that is plenty there. And it, you know, a lot of people do different methods for cleaning out their bore. You know, they have the new product, fairly new, the bore snake. I've got a good buddy who uses one. He swears by them, but he did tell me that they wear out after a while. So I don't want to pay $20 for a bore snake that after, you know, 15, 20 cleanings or whatever it is, I'm going to have to replace it. That's just, I don't want to do that. So I don't. You know, I spent $6 on a very big bag of these squares. I'll show it to you. $6. $6. And again, hops. Maybe I'm partial. I don't know. But it's what's there, and they're easy, and they're really cheap. And that bag will probably last me a year and a half, 2 years. And that's cleaning my guns after every shoot. So I'm not worried about it. That's pretty much it. You know, give it a good wipe down. You know, towel's not coming off dirty. None of the Q-tips are coming off dirty. And speaking of Q-tips, I'm sure there's some of you out there that are just, what is this guy doing? Why is he using Q-tips? You should never use a Q-tip. Shut up. Box of Q-tips says don't even clean your ears with Q-tips. What do I care? I clean my ears every day. I'm not a dirty animal. And I use Q-tips because they work and they're easy, and I'm not a dumbass. I'm not going to stab my eardrum. They're very simple. Very simple. So anyway, back on subject there. As you can see, we got all the excess stuff out of there. And we are going to lube it up. I use the spray. I used to use little drips. It doesn't matter. This is just seems a little easier. Let that sit in there for a second. You know, people always. I don't think you can really overlube a Glock. I don't think you can underlube it either. It doesn't really even need much. One of the great things about this is the loose tolerances. You know, it's riding on these 4 little rails right there. That's it. You'll get a little bit of wobble, but that little bit of wobble allows a lot of stuff to go in and out. You get something like a 1911 where they're custom fit together and, you know, machined in there just beyond perfect. You know, you fart on the thing and it's going to jam on you. Not a Glock. Not going to happen. So that's where I usually lubricate it. Some people will, you know, say a drop on the slide in each corner, or they'll go way overboard and just dump the thing in a bathtub of oil. But I don't know. This is how I do it. So that was probably even too much there. Jeez. There we go. Luckily, got the Flitz microfiber towel there. Take a good bit of that back, because obviously finger got a little heavy on that aerosol. So get the outside of this as well. Obviously, you know, you can see the wear marks from where that slide is going back and forth. You can see the wear marks from where that slide is going back and forth. You're going to have a lot of friction there. Everybody's seen how You know, when you rack that slide, the barrel kind of rakes up like that. That's a lot of stress, a lot of friction, metal on metal. You know, you want to have that nice and lubricated. Spread it around. Don't really need excess stuff on there. You know, pretty much everything you put will stay. And that's really it. Get some of this extra off. You know, and again, just from the overlubing of it, the carbon buildup in the firing pin stuff. That's, you know, like I said, once a year or so I'll get in there and I'll go to work on it, but it just doesn't need it. Again, simplest thing about a Glock, they're all the same. Very easy to put together. You got 4 components really. You got your slide, your barrel, recoil spring, and your lower. And there you have it. Wipe some of this excess off, get it nice and ready for tomorrow as we march on the Capitol to protest our gun rights, which none of you will see, or I guess this video in time for that, but hopefully you all make it out to the next one on February 8th. Go down to your state capitol if you don't know. Guns Across America. Make it happen, guys. Don't let these rights be taken from us. I know you won't. That's why you're watching this video, because you care. You care about cleaning your guns, you care about different guns, you care about research, knowing things. So, what else? Glock 30. Like I said, you know, one goal of this channel is, you know, we're going to be doing a lot of gear reviews. We only review things that we know. We're not going to do unboxing videos and tell you how awesome something is when we open it up out of the box, because who the hell knows? I just opened it. Let me carry it around for a couple months. Just like, you know, the last video, the flashlight. I've carried that thing for a while. This Glock, 2 years, almost, if not well over, at least, right up on 2 years. Constantly. Love this thing. You know, I don't know if I said it before, but you know, it will depend on the person, the body type, your preferences, what you're doing with it. Again, that's why it's important to have several options, because the worst thing about, you know, having the wrong gun is, you know, your inability to carry it. If you're not going to carry it, if you talk yourself out of carrying it somewhere, oh, you're going to a company party, oh, you're going to your friend's house, but you don't want someone to know it. You know, you got to have the right gun for the job. You want to have it at all times. If it doesn't fit your needs, then you're not going to take it. So get several options to fit several needs. Those needs will change. Sometimes you may want to open carry. Sometimes you may want to, you know, have it in your front pocket. You know, different guns for different jobs. This is my general daily carry. Generally, again, like I said, inside the waistband, got the Don Hume. I'm gonna set this loaded mag aside just to show you what this looks like when I carry it. I like this holster. It's about $25-$30 maybe at the last Eastman's gun show. You can probably pick them up anywhere. I know Don Hume has a website. You know, they make these for pretty much every Glock. If you're not a fan of leather, don't get leather. I like this. I like the way it looks. I like the way it feels. I like the positive kind of click in there. It stays. You can unholster, reholster very easily, even without you know, taking the entire thing out. That can be a pain in the ass, especially for some of you larger bellied folks out there. You know, there are a couple other options though, and I do use all of these. So I'm going to talk about them because it's what I know, and I've been carrying this, like I said, for 2 years. So I've got an opinion. This, probably number one for inside the waistband. Again, they all have different reasons for different needs. This would be number two for inside the waistband. This was very cheap. think this was like 12 bucks, maybe at Bass Pro. This little Black Hawk, just inside the waistband, just nylon holster. There's no retention, gravity obviously, and since it's inside the waistband, you've got your belt. Goes in pretty easy, stays in. Last thing you ever want is to draw and have your entire holster and pistol come out at the same time. That would be just an awful, awful situation. So always make sure that you've got the right size belt on that's going to hold that clip in place, so that when you do draw, you get the gun, not the gun and the holster. That would be the worst mistake. And again, I always recommend practicing with any new purchase. A lot. Practice a lot. One reason for that, move in to my next one. This is my OC holster. This is what I open carry with. This is also a Black Hawk Serpa. It's great. I like it. It's very functional. Keeps it off the waist, so you can have a good grip on this thing when you go to draw. It's very user friendly. It stays where you put it. It's not coming out. It's adjustable. You've got these screws here to adjust the cant on your belt, as well as the size of the belt that you're wearing. Just whatever size. I mean, it's just very adjustable. The one downside to this is it takes practice. And I know a lot of you are thinking, oh, you just push a little button. I promise you, it takes practice. Because it's not the practice of knowing what to do. It's the practice of doing it when you're not thinking about it at all. Which is, again, in any situation, exactly what you would be doing. It took me probably about a month, I would say, of consistent wearing and drawing and reholstering, drawing and reholstering, to get that where it needed to be. Because there were several times in that month too where I just go for a quick draw and I'm pulling on this thing, whether I forgot to hit the button or I didn't hit it just right or my finger slipped off, and I just got a big handful of nothing, and I about pulled myself up off the floor yanking so hard on this thing, and it's in there. It's not going anywhere. That is a solid lock on that trigger guard. So I really, really recommend, if you're going to do this, it's a great holster. I've heard people talk about, oh, this can break off. Someone could sneak up behind you and rip it off. Come on, guys. Be realistic. That's not going to happen. Especially if you are wearing a gun and you are, again, have half a brain in your head and you're aware of your surroundings. Just know what's going on. No one's going to rip this out of there. The bad part will be when you rip it out and you're trying to go for the gun and nothing's happening. Practice, practice, practice. Dry fire, draw, reholster, constantly, over and over, until it's literally just second nature. Great holster though. I will be wearing this tomorrow down at the Capitol as we march for our Second Amendment rights. I hope everybody else is going to be at their state capitol as well, representing, assuming that your state allows carrying and open carrying, and even if not, go down there unarmed. Be a law-abiding citizen. Represent well if you have the opportunity. Wear a tie. Wear a nice shirt. Don't give the other side what they think they already know. Anyway, okay, so the Serpa, that's what it is. Now this next one is kind of my, it's a belt slide. I think of it as more of a hybrid holster. You got all the comfortability of outside the waistband and all the concealability of inside the waistband. It sits very snug right up on your hip or wherever you really like it. The way you'd wear something like this is you loop your belt through here and then through your belt loop and then back through the next one. Pull your belt tight, you can slide it to lock it in place, and you're good to go. This is a Tagua holster. Great holster. I love this thing. I picked it up used just because I came across it on GeorgiaCarry.org. Check it out if you're here in Georgia, or I'm sure your home state has a very similar website. But check it out. Get on those forums, buy, sell, trade threads in there, and just see what else is out there. I love this holster though. It's a great holster. Can't say enough about it. I would do something very similar with another firearm. One really good thing about these as well, and I don't have my 17 out here, but my 17 fits every single one of these. Why? Because this is a Glock. Yeah, it's a 45 and the 17 is a 9mm, but it fits. It fits every single one. It'll get a little bit of a wobble in something like this, but I've definitely carried my 17 in this. I can definitely carry it in this, and it's gone in this a couple times as well. It's it's a universal shape for this brand. Glock they've got the same stuff going on. This is obviously by nature just a little bit wider because it's a 45. It's got this big fat boy right here. That's fine. I like 9mm too. Just for my everyday carry. Again, I like that 45. Another thing I would carry, especially when I'm open carrying, mags. Gotta have some mags. This here is just a little Phobos. I think this is about 20 bucks. Picked it up on eBay. Love eBay. Can't say enough about eBay. There's a lot of other sites out there. Do whatever you want. I don't care. I like eBay. It's easy. Ton of options. You can always find a pretty good price on just about anything. So get you a mag holster because you may run out of ammo. Couple things here that I really like, again, about not just this Glock but any Glock. You can always go up in size instantly with a new magazine. This is the Glock 21 magazine. It's a full-size 45. This is a Glock 30. Oh, look at that. It fits. That's not going anywhere. I just added 3 rounds to my magazine. That easy. So, again, my open carry configuration. I've got 2 13 rounders on my left hip and the 10 round in the gun on my right hip. For my concealed carry, I am pretty soon going to be picking up the Flush 9-round magazine. This one is 10, so I will be, it's just going to be a personal preference. One thing about this 30, if you haven't shot it a lot, there's a little bit of wiggle right there. I don't know if you can see that, but that wiggle will, when you shoot this thing, especially if you're at the range and if you go through a couple hundred rounds and you're gripping this thing like you own it, it's going to pinch you. You'll get a little blood blister right here on your pinky. It's just nature of this firearm. It'll do it. It might be indicative of your shooting style and habit, and I've heard a certain school of thought around not gripping very hard with the pinky, which is just one more reason I'd really like to give it a shot. When I'm sitting at home dry firing, I always have the mag out because that's easy to reset the trigger. I don't have to drop the slide every time. But I can tell you that pinky down there, it may look really uncomfortable on this camera, but it's just not bad. Aside from even eliminating that, that half inch there, it's just going to make it that much more concealable. I'll lose a round. I will lose one round. So I'll be just walking around with 9+1 instead of the 10+1, but I think that's a pretty comparable thing. I have no problem with that. I will do that. 25, 30 bucks. Well, actually, I don't know today what the prices on mags are doing just with everything that's happening, but that 9 router is on its way, and that'll happen pretty soon. So again, it's going to be personal preference. Well, I'd say that just about does it for the Glock 30. And just to clear anything up, again, this is not the Glock 30S or the Glock 30 SF. This is just the regular old 30. I don't know. I like it. I like a big grip on that, and it is a It's a great gun. I highly recommend it for anyone, any shooter, add to any collection, daily carry, range, whatever you want to do. Give it a shot. Again, give me hoping to add a full range report, take it out and shoot it a little bit, show you what I can do, what it can do, and we'll have a new video for you there. So, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Please subscribe. Check us out. If you've got any recommendations on any EDC gear or anything really, for that matter, just let us know. Comment below and we'll do our best to make it happen. Thanks.